Because again, I'm not monitoring it. I don't monitor now. That's how amateur I am. How we doing? Tim from SkiX Media here on this Saturday evening. Another edition of the Virtual Opera Party and live stream. And I'm going to take my mask. Although I like this mask, man. Not going to lie. I'm only wearing it because today Vermont's more... what's the word I'm looking for? Well, we have to wear masks in more places. You can see mine's kind of loose right now. I didn't tie it up. I just kind of threw it on just for the bit. But in Vermont, we have to wear masks just about everywhere as long as there's people around. But that's the wonderful thing about Vermont. There's never a lot of people around. So there you go on that. I am Tim from SkiX Media once again. Some of you know that. Most of you know that. Anybody who's going to be watching tonight knows that. Excuse me. But there might be new people in here who don't. So, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and jump on in and check in on the chat if you can. I know that's not as easy for folks, or maybe impossible for folks who are watching on their televisions, not on a mobile device and or computer. I am glad I took that mask off. Makes it much easier to drink without it, as some of you know. I do know a mask was sold today. A SkiX Media mask was sold today. So that was pretty cool. People are getting the whole mask thing. Because Vermont's not the only place that's requiring masks everywhere. Rob is here. Do you have your mask on, Rob? I took mine off. That's the wonders of being in the SkiX Media HQ, which you can see is not decorated yet, like I've been planning on doing this week. Having a little trouble with what I want to do. Not sure I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to keep doing it and keep trying and see if I can get it done. I am shaking a lollipop in the face of the camera and anybody who's watching the camera because I want one. And I'm going to have one. But Rob is here. So far, there's a few people, apparently, according to the analytics screen, which is what I kind of have to stare at while I'm talking to you all and fighting with this lollipop. I should have fought with this beforehand so you didn't have to watch me do it. Because that's not interesting, fun, or funny. Maybe it is funny to you. I don't know. But it's green and it's delicious. Delicious. And nutritious. Absolutely isn't. So how we doing, everyone who's here? Rob, how are you? With your extra workout day, apparently. I saw that one. Let me see here. Live stream notes. I've decided to keep my notebook here just below camera that you can't see. And yes, I am just babbling while we're waiting for people to show up. We'll give it a few minutes. Is that a piñata pop? This is a piñata pop. This is absolutely 100% out of the piñata. It's the only pops I have right now. I haven't been keeping candy in the house, so now I have candy from the piñata. But we'll get to the piñata here in a minute. Once we get the show going. Maybe it won't take 20 minutes to get the show going here this time like we did last week. Maybe we'll get going sooner. But while we're waiting for folks to come in, we're just chit-chatting, waiting for people, viewers to show up. Rob is doing good. Travis asked me about the piñata pop. Ryan, hello. How we doing, gentlemen? Is it going to be all dudes tonight? Sausage fest up in here? We won't know. Not everybody can participate in the chat, it would seem. I've heard tell that if you're watching on television, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, and in some cases one might not be able to do it. I don't 100% know. I've actually never tested it. One of these days I should pop it up on the television. There's one right next to me, behind the scenes, so to speak, so I could check that out. But if you cannot participate in the chat, I apologize for that. It's not really something to apologize for. It kind of just sucks. What I should do is figure out a way to hook up my second screen, not the television, but the other screen. If you could see what was going on the sides and behind this camera, believe me, it's ridiculous. I'm such a unorganized mess. I have it on my iPad and the TV. Exactly. That's the way to go. Rob has got both. He's got the device in hand or near hand, and he's got it on a television so he can see it in nice, big, bold HD colors. And so he can participate. Someone was telling me, it was my friend Patrick, our friend Patrick. Travis knows Patrick. And he was telling me that, he couldn't participate in the chat and was going to text the phone and try and dick with me while I was doing this. Try and throw some hooks, some curveballs to try and get my attention and mess me up. And I'm like, dude, that's not gonna throw me. Have to be some pretty harsh stuff to throw me. And if he's going harsh, I'm gonna have to go even harsher. So there you go. But I do have a screen. Then see, that would be the beauty for those who can. But actually, you know what? No, because then they would still need a device too. So for those who can't chat, that sucks. Maybe there's a way around that. I don't know. If you want to have your phone in your hand while you're watching at the same time, then there you go. If you're watching on television. So there you go. So much for the tech issues. You know what I'm saying? So, what to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about the holidays, which may seem random since it's still summer. But if the bathtub pick didn't throw you, nothing will. This is true. The bathtub pick did not throw me. The bathtub pick, actually, as we know, turned into an amazing bit, an incredible bit, a near viral bit within the ski rex and skiing community, to the point where Rob now has to lock his windows at night. Fucking stalker people. Anyway. Well, we won't get into that. Follow Rob on Twitter, and you can find all that. Now, what else to kill some minutes before everybody else shows up? We're still waiting on the girls. Don't know where the girls are, but that's okay. Again, Saturday night, things are starting to get, things are starting to lessen up, like restrictions, travel restrictions. Social distancing is still a thing, but more people can be in an area to social distance with. And, people might be going out on Saturday night now. I don't know. Coming back, I was coming back up here at 11. I got back here around 11 o'clock last night, and the girls never came. Yes, and the girls never came. It's just like Scotty in that movie that he admitted to watching while he was stoned in the hash bar in Amsterdam, even though they were not hash brownies. Put your clothes on, white boy. I will say, last night, come back at 11 o'clock, and there were far more people out than I expected. I passed more than one car on the interstate. I was passed by more than one car on the interstate. On the side roads, there was people. It was almost like a regular Friday night up here, man. Couldn't believe it. So maybe here, I don't know. Other places, maybe that's why they're not here. I don't know. It says we're up to 6 concurrent viewers right now. So we're getting to about our average until the Ski Rex Media live stream really takes off. I have a feeling that the live stream and virtual après party is going to take off like the week that the last one for the season ends. For the live stream season finale as the actual ski season begins. Because we're going to take off from the live stream, the virtual après party, because we should have maybe not actual real après, but people are going to be getting out and they're going to be skiing and riding and off doing things. And starting as at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we'll end up having to start at 10 o'clock to make sure everybody has time to get home. And I don't know if that's a good idea because I'm going to be out too, hopefully. Hopefully, if all works out, I'm going to be out too. So right as we're taking the season finale, going into doing the season finale of the live stream and virtual après party, it's going to take off huge. So we have to hope that all those people who came for that are going to come back in the end of the spring when we start doing it again, when the season's over and we don't have real après. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know what? It's 10 minutes in. There's 7 concurrent viewers. Everybody who's in here, if you can, please hit the like button. You know how to do that with the app on your device, and that's awesome. If you are watching on television, that is possible too. I think if you do it like I would do it with the PlayStation 3, all you got to do is hit the down button on the controller, and it'll drop you down to a little menu, and you should have the like, the dislike, and all that good stuff down there. Hit that like button so people know when they go for the replay, when I plug the replay, that it was worth watching. And if you want to wait to see if it was actually worth watching, you can do that. But I would appreciate if you hit that like button as someone did And while you're here, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Please subscribe, and then you won't have to pay attention. Like, I plugged this thing today like 3 or 4 times on social media. I did it at like noon, at like 4, at 7, at 8. A little one just went out at 8, like 10 minutes ago. It was awesome. So I across social media. So anybody who has an opportunity to see the Ski Rex Media sees it, and hopefully they'll come wandering in. Please subscribe to the Ski Rex Media YouTube channel. As you can see, the plug bar, the hashtag shameless plug bar, is not at the bottom of the screen. For some reason, all of my settings, even though I reset them, checked them, double checked them in the streaming software, I did it and I saved them and they were ready to go. So all I had to do was turn the thing on and we were ready to rock. And now I turned it on and it was too late when I found out it's not ready to rock. Nope, it should have been ready. I took it for granted that it was ready. That's an amateur mistake on me. That's Bush League shit on me. Always double check before you start. Give yourself enough time to double check. But I didn't. So yeah, we have no shameless plug bar, but you excuse me, can go into the description below and you can find out everything you need from there. Or you can go to Ski Rex Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places, and you can get everything there, or go to skirexmedia.com and get everything there. And now that's out of the way, since I don't have a shameless plug bar and I had to shameless plug myself, let us start the program at 11 minutes in and not 20 this time. How good am I? Tonight, for the virtual opera and live stream number 16, we are talking about holidays. Why are we talking about holidays in the summer? Now, when people talk about skiing and riding the holidays, they typically think that you're talking about the holidays as we refer to them in the U.S. And I'm fairly certain everybody who's watching tonight is in the U.S. anyway, because if you think about it, 8 p.m., kind of early, but for, like, say, the folks that I know are in the U.K., it's friggin' 2 in the morning in London, I think. And then you go out to Austria. We had an Austrian in here. He was up with the baby all night. Remember that day? It was like 4 a.m. there. And then, like, part of our Indonesian contingent, for him, it's tomorrow sometime. So I don't even know. So we're probably all Americans in here, and that's okay. For the most part, we're also all East Coasters, I think. I haven't seen any of the Western or the Rocky Mountain people check in. But holidays, as we call them, President's Day weekend, we think of the holidays as, when people say the holidays, at least here in the U.S., we think of Thanksgiving to New Year's. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and then New Year's. That's what we think of. We have dreams of white Christmas and snow songs and getting out there and going skiing and thoughts of Norman Rockwell paintings at the holidays, or what we would consider the holidays. And we forget that, number one, the Southern Hemisphere typically doesn't have a white Christmas. That's us. So Christmas for them is just a summertime thing. But number two, there's holidays all year long. All year long. And of so many holidays, I can't even name them all. Nobody can name them all without looking at it. But skiing and riding at the holidays. So this came up because last night I decided to go down and visit my good dear friend Travis here, Trey Surf Dragon, who is a common, or is one of the top fans, absolutely, of Ski Rex Media. One of the top folks who participates in the chat and all this, and his wonderful family who have adopted me in some ways. 3 generations of that family I've been close to, and that's something. Travis actually pointed that out to me a couple weeks ago. 3 generations of that family, so I went down there for his family's Christmas in July celebration, and had a good time. We had a good time. And we're sitting around the fire pit staring at logs that aren't burning, because why start a fire pit in a fire? No, why start a fire pit in a fire? Typically we would have, and we usually do, but sometimes you just get to talking and chatting and things fall by the wayside, and that's okay. That's the wonderful thing about a get-together like that, man. It is impromptu. It is come as you are, impromptu. You have a lot of fun with your friends and the kids and the parents, and everybody's having a good time, and there was a piñata that got smacked, and I got candy, and really, is there anything better than that? But, so we're sitting around, me, Travis, his sister Bridget, also common participator here in the old chat, sitting around. And they asked me, they're like, what's the topic for Saturday? I was like, you know what? I don't know. My creativity, my originality. Like, I admit to being a hack from time to time. Absolutely. Absolutely will admit to being a hack from time to time. I work so hard not to be a hack, I end up being a hack sometimes. So I said, I don't know. I can't be creative enough. I can't think of anything. Probably just going to freestyle it, which could have been fun too. Can I talk for an hour freestyle? Who knows? I have trouble talking for an hour and a half when I have a topic sometimes. Believe me, I get burnt out. But we're sitting around a fire pit, just BSing. And Travis says, why not talk about the holidays? Since we were having a holiday celebration and we were surrounded by Christmas lights and Christmas trees and inflate, the inflatable lawn pieces. And his one sister went ahead and built a cemetery for Mrs. Claus and Frosty with candy cane crosses. It was really creepy and weird. And a Halloween tree came out, so we had Halloween going. There you go, Bridget. Halloween trees. Welcome to the program. Thank you for showing up. Someone go make sure Betsy came. She said something about being interested. I sent her the link. She said sweet. So Bets, if you're in here, thank you for watching. I know. I think you said you were a TV viewer the one time you did watch, and I know you can't chat, but if you're in there, that's awesome. So make sure this is off. Shh. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Wanted to make sure the phone was set to quiet. I'm here. She's here. Oh, Betsy can play. Look at that. I got half that family in here now. Isn't that great? Someone go get Leslie. She's not going to watch. I've asked her before. She doesn't watch. But that's okay. Let me say, where was I going? So we had the Halloween tree and dead Christmas characters in the cemetery. It was very weird and very creepy, and Halloween came out as well. But that led Travis to the idea of talking about the holidays. And so let's talk about skiing and riding for the holidays. Now, first and foremost, always remember that skiing and snowboarding and the whole winter sports thing, if you go to a resort or an area, and it doesn't matter what you do, if you are a typical, like most of us are downhill skiers, we go to the mountain, and for those of us that ski, but for the ones that don't, this applies too. We go there and we get on the lift and we go up and we ski down and up and down and up and down. But cross country people, there's people running shacks and food and stuff on those trails. Snowmobiling, excuse me again, snowmobiling, if you go, those gas stations are open and those food joints are open on Christmas, on Thanksgiving, on, during President's Day week, Martin Luther King Day, Easter, if your winter's long enough, we have a good enough winter, friggin' St. Patrick's Day, and did I say President's Week? I did, and what have you. And like I said, Christmas, New Year's, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, my birthday, is the same as Washington's birthday. So I count it as a holiday. Why not? Eventually it's going to become Ski Rex Media Day as well, just because, I've tried to fight back my ego, my arrogance over the years, and but once in a while it's okay to feed into it. So if I can have Ski Rex Media Day, that shit'll happen, let me tell you. Now, all those holidays, everything's there. That stuff is open so we can go have fun, but there's people working there. Whether you see them at the ticket booth, whether you see the patrollers, the food people, the people behind the scenes, the snowcat drivers, the snowmakers, again, the gas station attendants, the people who clean the condos, the people who, cops and EMS and everybody else, they're all working. So, while you may be frustrated at your family or frustrated with the traffic because everybody else, not majority of people are off. More people are off than working. So the traffic to get to your favorite mountain, the long lines, all this stuff. While you may be frustrated with that, realize that those people who are working behind those counters, they're frustrated too, and they're doing their best to keep that smile on their face. And I know you've run into a few where they just let loose. Believe me, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of amazing when an employee wigs out on a guest. It's kind of awesome in a way. I'm not saying you should if you are an employee. And again, we've all been there. Very common teenager job. Everybody works in hospitality or food service or something similar. I know a bunch of us here worked at mountains, and we know what it's like, and those teenagers who are working those mountains, they're taking their school break and they're working, which it is our choice, but that doesn't mean you have to be an asshole to those people. So when we talk about working the holidays, and I don't care which one it is, again, Christmas, from anywhere from Christmas and New Year's to friggin' Easter and even St. Patrick's Day, not really a holiday, but people get out and get crazy, so I guess it counts. All that shit. Be kind to the workers. That's what I'm saying. Be kind, especially on the more family-oriented, religious-oriented holidays where people would rather be with their families having a good old time or be at church having a good old time. And that also includes the retail workers for you Black Friday folks. Hate to tell you, but Walmart and Target have already said we're not opening on Thanksgiving. So it's Black Friday of old, baby. It's eating dinner at like 4 o'clock and getting to bed at 8 o'clock so you could be up at 3 o'clock so you could be at the store at 4 o'clock and swinging elbows at 6. It's going to be Black Friday like the days of old. And let me tell you something. Social distancing ain't going to stop it. It is not going to stop it. I commend Target and Walmart for closing on Thanksgiving, because I didn't mind I worked the overnight anyway for most of my time at Target, and I didn't mind working Thanksgiving overnight because I could sleep all day, eat dinner with, the in-laws and the wife, and then the ex-wife, and, then I just go to work. It's fine. And then Black Friday, I didn't have to deal with the crazy shit because I was clocking out and going home by the time it started. But then they said, we should be open on Thanksgiving. So the overnight squad now became fucking sales floor retail, like actual retail. Not the fun logistics stuff behind the scenes, but the actual floor retail. And it kind of sucked. But it did what it did. It didn't really, don't let them tell you it helped in sales. It balanced in sales. It didn't do any better or any worse. It balanced. And what it did is it made it safer in a way, because people, they've been up all day eating turkey, watching football, playing in the snow, doing whatever, getting high with their cousins out on the neighborhood walk. We all know how that happened. Never happened to me because I don't really know my cousins, but we know that shit goes down. They go out for the walk. We're just going to go, and they're all fucking smoking and shit. We know. Teenagers being bad. And lollipop, baby. And, so they come in and the store opens at like 8 o'clock. People are tired, man. They're tired. So they come in Thanksgiving night and you just stay open overnight. By 1 a.m, you're done because everybody has to go to bed. And then you get the resurgence at like 7, 8 in the morning. Not this year. It's going back to the old school days, medieval days, dark ages of Black Friday, the fun Black Friday. The Black Friday I would watch from the break room or from the loading dock as the door opened at 5 and people are just fucking swinging down on each other, dude. That's coming back because everybody's going to have that turkey, and that turkey helps you sleep, and you sleep 8 or 9 hours, and you get up and you have all the energy in the world. And let's be honest, every last one of these people is having at least a hot chocolate, so they're getting a little bit of sugar and that little bit of chocolate caffeine, but most of them are having that. Most of them are having their coffee, and they're friggin' wired, and they're having good breakfast, sugar breakfast, donuts, and cinnamon rolls, and the good stuff. So they're going to get hyped. And it's going to be Black Friday old, but we're not here to talk about Black Friday because this is not a retail program, but bet you I could do one about retail if I wanted. But it still applies. If you're going Black Friday shopping on Black Friday, be kind. Be kind. And if you're skiing on Thanksgiving, if you're skiing on Christmas, if you're skiing during those holidays, those families, be kind to the workers. All of them. The people at the mountain, the people at the gas station up the road, the people in the restaurants, the people in the condos, everybody, realtors, whomever it may be. Be kind to all of them. The guys who are, the guys and girls who are, like I said, patrollers, ski instructors, everyone. Be kind during the holidays. Do your best. I know you're frustrated. Don't take it out on them because they're frustrated and they're going to take it out on somebody else. And eventually that frustration builds up into one person who just starts swinging. and that's never a good thing. You think I'm wrong? Look at the statistics. Crime goes up at the holidays. Just saying. Now, as for that was a hell of a rant, by the way, I feel. Who bounced out? Get them back. Everyone go find that person who bounced out and drag them back here. We're not doing that today. Drag them back. I know you can't. So skiing and riding during the holidays, for us in the northern hemisphere, it's very easy. And we've all done it. We've all done on some of them. Obviously, we get Christmas. We get New Year's, Thanksgiving, depending on where we are. Depending on where you are or your ability, where you can travel to. You get Halloween. And this is natural now. Like, I'm not even talking indoor places because we have one indoor place. Now, once it reopens, we talk about this every week. Once Big Snow reopens, all bets are off. It doesn't matter anymore. That place is open. You'll be able to ski every day it's open. And a place like that is going to be open on the holidays, all of them. Including like the summer holidays, Labor Day and not Veterans Day, but that's also in November. Labor Day and the other one I'm thinking of, it's one of the big ones in the summer. 4th of July, for example, that wasn't the one I was thinking of, but Memorial Day was actually the one I was thinking of. All these places, it'll make it a lot easier if you have indoor places, obviously, because we can't all just bop on off to. But does it count? Let's say we have our summer holidays. Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. And again, here you can do it if you can travel to even the Rocky Mountains, But what if you go to like South America, say? And again, this is off COVID time, mind you. This is, we obviously can't do that now. Travel is restricted. Americans are not allowed in any other country in the world. Unless you happen to have dual citizenship and can prove that you are clean. It's like taking an STD test, man. Everybody wants to know what your history is right now. Instead of going home with somebody and them asking, hey, do you have herpes or AIDS? It's, do you have the COVID? I do it. I almost didn't go to that family function because of it, because I'm a chicken, and that's what it is. And I forgot to bring a mask, which is even worse. But does it count? Does it count skiing on a summer holiday if you're not in our country? If you're skiing our holiday, for instance, say you want to go skiing on 4th of July, but you want to do it in Patagonia. Okay, does it still count? Because you're not in the United States, and that's a United States thing. Isn't that something? Think about that for a minute. Does it count? Are you really skiing or riding on that holiday if you are not in the country in which it is observed? For instance, I once asked the Domino's pizza man while I was on vacation. We got, we ordered a Domino's pizza the first night we were there because we were tired driving. It was my honeymoon. And we had just driven all day and said, screw it, we're just going to eat inside. And the guy shows up, the delivery man. I says, how you doing, delivery man? He's like, not bad for working on Thanksgiving, but all right. And I said, wait, what? And I had to think about that for a second because I was like, wait, it's October. It's the first week of October. I was like, oh, yeah, huh? So I celebrated Thanksgiving twice that year. Once in Canada and once in America. And so what does that make me? I don't know. There's a joke there. I thought I had one, but I stumbled on it, so it's gone now. But does it count? Because that's what I was really getting at. You can ski and ride any holidays. Like, the whole thing about the winter holidays is that's typically what, again, in America, when we say the holidays, we mean Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, because it's all at the same time. It's all in the winter. It's all happy and, celebrating Jesus or whatever your religion may be, whatever. But there are holidays year-round, and there's different ones in different countries, obviously. Like I said, Canadian Thanksgiving, October. American Thanksgiving, November. So who knows? I've only skied on one. I've skied on Thanksgiving. It was a good year that year. But you can do it now on any holiday. Any holiday you want. Any holiday you want. That's the beauty of the 21st century and skiing and snowboarding, is that the season doesn't have to end. And that's really what this holiday program is all about. We say, Tim, what could you possibly say about skiing on the holidays? We all know you can go on Christmas and New Year's and Valentine's Day and all this shit. You know, we'll come back to Valentine's Day. I got a little advice for you all on Valentine's Day. So, the season, aside from pandemic years, viral outbreak years, the season doesn't end. It all depends on what you want it to be. Because in the 21st century, we can be on the other side of the planet in 24 hours or less. And we know that. So, if you say, shit, I want to ski on Arbor Day, but I want to do it in the Alps, you can do that. But then does that count? Because isn't Arbor Day an American thing? What do we got from Mr. Rob? I skied before Thanksgiving in early 19. Season started off cold. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So you can even get out before the holidays. You could have gotten you might have been able to get Halloween. 1920 season. The 1920 season, such as it was, we didn't get any holidays in this one. Post St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day was the only one we got this year. Well, 4th of July, kind of. But social distancing holidays, that kind of sucks. Think about Christmas, New Year's. No New Year's parties this year. Not that we ever go big, but we all get together and do something in some place, a bunch of us together, you know, and everybody's up till 3, 4 in the morning. Glad I got out early. Exactly. And who knew? Getting out early in for the 2019-2020 season would have been a necessity, because we didn't know. Who saw this shit coming? Nobody saw this coming. Goddamn pandemic nonsense bullshit. But aside from that, season doesn't end, especially in places where you have, you know, indoor facilities. That's actually a pretty big bummer for our friends in the UK. And again, it's unlikely we have anyone from the UK in here at any given time, because, you know, London, I don't know how many time zones they cross, because the UK isn't as big as us. Like, you know, Wales, London, Scotland, North Ireland. Ireland, I know it's not part of the United Kingdom, but you know what I mean. That whole area, you know, 6 hours ahead, you know, so it's 2 a.m. So, but they just got a blow. They were ready to open up all their indoor facilities, and all their government said, you know, no, you can't open them now. We're changed our mind. You have to wait till at least August 15th to see what we're going to do. So that kind of blows for them. So their season not only was about to restart, but ended, just like ours did restart in a couple of places and then ended. Although, you know, Hood has been going pretty good all summer, man. There's all kinds of videos coming out from Hood. You know, if you go out, you know, you watch Eric Pollard's social media, and Janice Spiteri and Casey Willax and a couple other people have been out there just, you know, doing their thing. So good for them. Ryan, we got 2 weekends before Thanksgiving last year. See, there you go, man. Last year it started off awesome. It was such a tease, and it became more of a tease, the 2019-2020 season. We should have a holiday commemorating the tease that the 1920 season would have been, because it opened early. Think about every place that was opening early. I was writing about it. Unofficial Networks was writing about it. Snowbrains was writing about it. Teton Gravity, TGR, Teton Gravity Reach was writing about it. Everyone, newspapers, the news, sports news, you know, wow, every friggin' mountain's open. October, November, opening early. We're doing it. And then there were people bitching, does it really count if it's open, if it's only one trail of man-made? I'm like, yes, it really counts, because it's open and the lifts are turning and you can ski. So it's kind of real, isn't it? People, man, haters everywhere. And I get being a hater, but it doesn't mean, I get it. I understand it. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean I condone it. Shouldn't be a hater. It's not a good life to live. Talking about, does it count? Like, this is bullshit. They're not really open. They have like half a trail of man-made snow. It's like, so go have some fun, dude. Like, why are you bitching about it? Go up there and ride. Seemed that easy to me. Even around here, stuff was opening, you know, early. And it opened early, and it was cold, and then it didn't snow. It did not snow much at all. Even in the upper elevations, it didn't snow much here. I don't think it really snowed much all over the country. and then, not only is it not snowing much and mountains are running out of water, pumping and blowing snow, and then COVID-19 comes and shuts everything down anyway. So 2019-2020 season, rest in peace. Ooh, that gives me an idea. But I'm going to write that one down in the old handy dandy notebook here. But, even with that, typically the point was, even though we had our tease of a season because it was so much early, don't know what I'm walking into, but hike for turns in Halloween in CB every year. That's exactly what we're talking about, actually. G-Move, welcome to the program. You popped in and you're right, and it's awesome because you brought up Halloween. See, again, that's what I was getting at. The season doesn't have to end depending on how you do it. And again, this comes back to holidays. You could ski, on Halloween if you want to put in a little bit more work. Obviously, you might not get something lift serviced, but you can hike up. So the season doesn't end, and every holiday is available, depending on where you go and what you do, and in what country you're in, too. I don't know what holidays we're skiing in the southern hemisphere during our summer. I don't know what they got going on down there. I know Australia has like a week off, from school. Once I don't know if it's a holiday or like an in-service thing or teachers need time off or whatever it is. But each year they talk about how they got to get ready for this week, this week-long holiday to get everything open. The kids are going to be coming and the adults are off and all this and that. I don't know what it is. I can barely keep up with our stuff. I'm not trying to keep up with everybody else's stuff. Shout out to our Australian brothers and sisters, but if I ever, I just need to be told what's going on down there because I don't know. Now, holiday, wonderful thing. Halloween, wonderful thing. Skiing on Halloween. Now, the beauty of skiing on Halloween is about how it really comes down to how silly you want to make it. If you're just going up to start your season, say you took the summer off, say you aren't someone who chases storms around the earth or has an indoor facility nearby or goes to a plastic hill. Plastic hill, there you go. Like, and all types of plastic hill, too. They're open year round, or they could be. Because you can use them, the snow piles up on the plastic and then you get the plastic. Or you go to Copenhagen out there in Denmark. Check that place out. That place would be pretty sweet. I would ski there on every holiday. I don't know any Danish holidays, but you know what I'm saying. But season starts when you want it to, and it doesn't end. But say you took off the summer and you're like, oh, Halloween is coming. I think I'm going to go take my candy and then head out up to the mountain, hike up, get some turns for Halloween. And you do it while wearing a costume. Whatever you want. I'm hoping to be a ninja. I'm trying to talk the person who made my mask into getting enough of this material and making me a full ninja suit. Because the mask, actually the other mask I grabbed this one, but I have another one made of the same material. Looks the same. Awesome orange color. Obviously, orange is my thing. And I'm going to be a ninja. Could I be a skiing ninja? Not in Vermont, probably. Not in Vermont. Unless this winter turns out to be ridiculously sick. Like ridiculous in a way that nobody, unless you really like winter, wants to see a winter that starts in October and really starts. But if I could do it, I would do it. I absolutely would. It could be fun. Ryan, there's always St. Patrick's Day weekend for skiing in costumes since there's zero hope for Halloween snow here. St. Patrick's is another one, too. And people always bust out their... They bust out their leprechauns, and you see a bunch of them in leprechauns, and you see the ladies in the sexy leprechaun thing. Which, I'm with that. I'm not a hater. St. Patrick's Day is good for that. St. Patrick's Day is also the green beer and the green trails. I've seen, green thrown down on the snow and everything. That's really what skiing the holidays is all about. We're talking about it here. And it really comes down to how one celebrates. How does one celebrate any holiday? I've celebrated Thanksgiving with family and friends. I've celebrated Christmas with family and friends and New Year's and this and that. And, I've gone out on St. Patrick's Day because that's what people do. St. Patrick's Day isn't really a holiday because you don't get off from work. You don't get off from school unless it happens to be on a Saturday or a Sunday. And then you get stupid and you pay the price for it the next day. And that even counts the school kids, because school kids get a little stupid too. I'm not going to lie. What is this? G-Move had deep conversations with Blake back in the day. The need to change the perception of ski season. Skiing is not a winter sport. It's a spring sport. It's an all-the-time sport. It's just that in the 21st century, because I agree with that. And I take it a step further. It's an anytime sport now. Especially, I mean, think about it, man. Again, like I said, you can travel anywhere in a day, depending on I get it, finances, other resources, what you want to do. You know, I'm not saying you have to ski 12 months of the year. Nobody has to do that. But what you got to, but now it just doesn't end. We have indoor places all over the place except here. We have the plastic hills. We have, all that stuff. And we just try, we can just try to do it as often as we want. And now the season doesn't have to end at all. And it's not really a winter sport. It will be, what do we got here? Stuff going on in the chat here. Boyne Mountain has Crazy Days Festival, St. Patty's weekend. They have a costume contest and a hot tub party. There's everything from T-Rex costumes, right on, to the Borat string bikini things on the slopes. Definitely have seen that. Respect to anybody who wants to do it. Not my thing. Let's see. We shut the lifts down when the weather is best and the snow depth the deepest. Paradigm change needed. Oh, I figured out the shut part myself. The twists, though, I definitely had the twists threw me there. I was like, shut the twists? What does that mean? But yes, shut the lifts down when the weather is best and the snow depth the deepest. Paradigm change needed. Again, I think we're there, man. I think we're there. And I think we've taken it to the next, to that next step is that, people, there are going to be the people who will look at, winter sports or what we consider winter sports as winter sports, do them during the winter, take your time off in the summer. And again, for most people, that's how it's going to be. However, it is now an option, and it always has been an option. But as technology grows, as people's want or ability to travel outside of pandemics grows, all this stuff, the season doesn't have to end. Like if this friggin' pandemic goes away. If the disease goes away or is controlled or whatever the actual end goal is. I don't even know anymore. I've given up on it. I've given up following it. I don't know what's going on. But when it is, cool and things are open and at full capacity and everything's going on, my season's not going to end. It won't be as, maybe because I do live in the East. Obviously I live in New England and we don't have, once the snow starts to melt, we don't have the higher elevations. We don't have, we have a few things. Obviously we have a few things we can run to, but not as much. And I won't be able to travel all the time. Then again, maybe I will. You never know. Maybe I'll just move Ski Rex Media into a motorhome that has a little part in the back with a little new mobile studio and whatnot. I could keep traveling. But, I'll be checking out Plastic Hills and indoor places as they open. The season doesn't actually have to end, and I could do it as much as I want or as little as I want. There's no wrong way. That's what it really comes down to. It's no wrong way. Whatever way is right for you, that's the right way to do it, and that's what you should do. And don't let anybody tell you you're a poser or anything like that, unless you are a poser, but that's different, and you can tell the difference between posers and tryhards and just people who want to do it the way they want to do it, because you could just tell the difference between tryhards and the people who still have the vibe but just do it. They don't do it as much, or they don't want to be the best, or they don't want to be park riders, or they don't want to be fucking big mountain guys, but they still love it and they can still talk about it. And whatever you know what I'm saying. I've said this. Don't let anybody say you're not a real skier or snowboarder or anything else for that matter. It doesn't matter. You'll find that a lot of the lessons I teach here that I say pertain to skiing, snowboarding, winter sports, what have you, can be taken into one's regular life. It absolutely can, dude. It absolutely can. This isn't just for Ski Rex Media. isn't just about skiing, snowboarding, what have you. It is about life. And a lot of the lessons you can learn here, a lot of lessons I teach here can be taken into one's real life and put into good use. Use them for yourselves. I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you to a point. I'm not a servant, but I will serve you. Is that weird? Does that make sense? Was that funny? That wasn't funny. But, take this stuff in and realize that it can be applied to other places. Ryan, resorts here run until there's nothing left. Barely enough snow to make it top to bottom. We'd be pissed too if places closed with something left too. And most people are. And I get it. Sometimes sometimes for the resorts, like I know people get pissed. We all saw how angry people were when the place, it's just not a way of life. Here you go, Travis. It's not just a way of life. It's a state of mind. A state of mind. That's exactly what it is. To Ryan's point, people were pissed when the pandemic happened. States said everything needs to shut down. It's, that's what they were told. You have to shut down. Places like Killington shut down and people got pissed. There's still snow up there. What the fuck are you doing closing? It's like, dude, they were told to close. It's not their fault. It is not their fault. Not their fault. Now, outside of a pandemic, and that's what I'm saying. People got pissed about that when it wasn't anyone's fault. So when it is the call of the resort, I get it. Again, I understand what they're doing. They now have to balance the money they can make, the people they have on staff, because some of their staff can't stay either. The staff gets to a certain point and then they have to go. Whether it's they go to, if most everybody in here's worked in the industry at some point. There were those people who, they work the mountain in the winter and then they head to the beach in the summer, and they gotta go. So, and that's what, the business has known that since day one, since back in October or November, that their seasonal help has to go. And they just don't have the heads to run the place, and they got to balance what it's going to cost. I get that. But you would think there's got to be a way to push it just a little bit longer. Because G is right. Sometimes the closing days hit, and it's like you're looking up there like, damn. Like, it is warmer, the day is longer, and you just can't, you're looking up the hill. That's why I'm looking up. I hope you all got that. You just can't. It just sucks that you can't use the lifts, and then you got to get out there under your own power, which is fine. People love that. The uphill thing is great. I want to start trying to do that myself, and but obviously you don't get as many runs if you're uphilling. If you're going under your own power, you're not going to be able to get from bottom to top as quick as a high-speed chair or a high-speed gondola or something similar. Even the goddamn the magic carpet you can get up faster, but only for so long because you are expending energy. So up, down on your own legs, man, it's going to burn you out. So it sucks. So I get it, but it is sad. But as I said, the season doesn't really end. And the holidays are what you want them to be. We've all seen, July 4th. This actually speaks to the point of what we would think is a premature closing when you don't really have to. Out in the big mountains out west, man, people, 4th of July, they're out there. 4th of July, they're out there, and they're dressed up too. Uncle Sam hats, they got the flag. America. That's what they're doing. They're out there celebrating America. America. And they're celebrating on the snow. But they're not always doing it with lifts. But the season doesn't have to end. So your holiday vacation is whatever you want it to be. And I'm not getting through my lollipop as quick as I'd hoped. This is a blow pops. There's gum in there. It is sour apple though, so it is delicious. Season doesn't end, so the holiday is what you want. And again, like I said, there's no wrong way. So if you're on a plastic hill on July 4th, that counts. If you're on a plastic hill on Memorial Day, that counts. Labor Day, that counts. Labor Day, the unofficial or official end of the summer. You know, it's the last big weekend in New Jersey. Everybody goes to the beach. And it's like, you don't go to the beach on that weekend because everybody else is going. I never went to the beach on Memorial Day or Labor Day, whichever one is which. I always forget. Labor Day is September or the end of August, whatever it is. I don't even know. But I do know what I'm talking about. I just don't, I just biffed, whatever. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I would never claim to be perfect. Now, but, I bring up New Jersey because, again, they get their indoor facility. Then some of those beach people are going to go spend, Labor Day while other people are laboring in the mall, and they're going to ski or snowboard, and that's what I would do too. I mean, I like the beach, but I would ski or snowboard on the summer holidays if I could. I've thought about it. In my younger days, I thought about one time, never did it, thought about, what would it be to finish up, and this is my younger days, we're finishing up at Mount Snow when we're, teenagers, early 20s. I'm thinking, I was like, what would it be to finish up the season here, take an LOA, head on down to the Southern Hemisphere. I would probably have at that point tried New Zealand or Australia because I speak the language. Even now, I probably would. Spanish is not, you can get English anywhere. It kind of takes the romance out of traveling. You know what I'm saying? It takes part of the thrill out of traveling because there's English everywhere. And not only is there English everywhere, it feels like almost you can get it. I've been told you can get it everywhere. But now we're one step away from the Star Trek universal communicating universal translator. You can hold the thing in your hand. If the phone can do it, and you talk to it and it says what you need it to say. It kind of takes it out. But I would still make it easier on myself. Go to an English-speaking nation. What is this? A-Base and Squaw, the years they've run on 4th of July are legendary. Exactly. Because we don't get it mostly. 4th of July, what you have when you ski for 4th of July, we're talking about skiing and riding for the holidays for anybody who's joined late, even though one person just bounced out. Skiing on the 4th of July, 4th of July is just a party weekend anyway. We know that. It's a holiday. People are off for it. Summer, school's out, whatever. Fireworks, what have you. So it's a party time anyway for young and old alike. And then for the winter enthusiasts, the winter sports enthusiasts, as it were, snow sports enthusiasts, as it were. For snow sports enthusiasts, it's like, wow, we get to do this on the 4th of July, summertime thing. Not necessarily, not necessarily something we get to do here often. Not nearly as many. Obviously, not. Again, you can, but not everybody gets to, for whatever reason. But I can imagine that skiing the 4th of July is just a ridiculous time because that's my point. It's a party weekend and it's something that not everybody gets to do. So everybody who says, hey, I can do this, they head on out and the lifts are spinning on 4th of July. Forget about it. It's wonderful. And it turns into a party. And I've seen the pictures in the video, and you've seen the pictures of the video. If you haven't, you can look those up. Different places have them. You can go to YouTube and look 4th of July skiing. You can find it. People are, like I said, Uncle Sam and fucking red, white, and blue on everything, and flags waving, and, fireworks, America, bald eagles, all of it. It's crazy. We got here. Ryan, I went skiing in late July at Mount Bachelor one summer during college. It's pure goodness skiing on real snow in the middle of the summer. I'm sure it is. I agree with that. I've actually never skied in the summer. Never have. And typically we would use our summers for other things. I wasn't as big a travel person then as I am now. My road tripping didn't start until... we did a little bit, but it wasn't until my early 20s that I really started road tripping. So, as the summers, showed up, we would just take the summer off and truck around the mountains here, out in the trails, out in the woods, out in the tents, man. So we'd spend our holidays in the way that most people would spend their holidays in the summer. If we, 4th of July fireworks at the park and, Memorial or Labor Day at the beach and, those typical things. But, man, as I got, and again, I only bring up my 20s because in my 20s I was working, so I didn't always have, weeks upon weeks of vacation. I eventually got to that point where I could, had tons of vacation time to play with and was, traveling around a little bit. Now, with Ski Rex Media, I could probably take the show on the road and ski any holiday I want, even in the United States. I could go to Colorado if I wanted to. Not now, though, because I don't want to pay. I'm not risking that COVID-19. I don't want nothing to do with that. No way. Call me a chicken. Call me what you will. But that's just who I am. Love me for who I am. I am wonderful. I may be a chicken about a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, but a few things. Love me for who I am. So there's that. Skiing and riding on holidays. Travis, if it's better than spring skiing, I'm down. Spring skiing is my favorite. Surfing taters. The old taters bit. I love spring skiing. Like, you don't have to get me wrong. There was, more than enough times I was out there and I've skied in jeans. Believe me, I have. I have no issue with it. And spring skiing is wonderful. It's funny. And this isn't the few, everybody who's saying it now aren't the first people I've heard say it. I've said it. You get into the spring, it's not hot, it's just warmer, and the snow is nice and soft, and it's, it's there, and, what we need winter for it to get to the spring to really do it in a time where it might be the greatest to do it, because I get it. Sometimes skiing Christmas morning is getting up, ditching presents, like saying, screw that, we'll do it later. So you can get to the mountain, and everybody's at the mountain, mind you. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's going. And you get out there, it's, 8 below, 10 below, wind and fog. It's winter. And I love winter. That shit never bothered me. Well, there are some days, like, I'm not going to lie, there's days I step out of the house and I'm like, oh my God, it's friggin' ice age is about to start. But for the most part, skiing in the winter can be painful. Like the weather will kick your ass or kick someone's ass, not me. What do we got here? Ryan, bring out the wide skis and surf the slush. Yep, get out the wide cuts. G-Move, forget the language barrier. Ski South America. Skiing is an international language. Plus your poor-ass Spanish and your egged-up New England accent is either super adoring to the local ladies or you sound like a Chinese native speaking English in America. All right, see, now there's a good point there. Now, my Spanish is terrible. Like, I can understand it. I don't speak it well. I don't have a New England accent, do I? My accent kind of flutters around. Do I sound like a New Englander? I've never noticed. I use a lot of New England catchphrases. Absolutely. I didn't realize I had an actual New England accent, although I grew up in the friggin' place. I should have one, but then I've lived all over the country, so who knows? My thing with going to South America is I would do it if I was going for a short time. And I would never expect, there you go. No, see, I don't sound like a New Englander. I don't know what I sound like. And I'll fake accents. Not anymore. I'm not good at it. I one time got a drunk British guy to think I was British for about 5 minutes until someone blew up my spot. It would have been an awesome bit, and they fucked me up. But then my friend who blew up my spot, she was drunk too. Actually, there were 2 people that were just completely blitzed in our group that night, and it led to a whole friggin' mess and people throwing up on subway platforms. It was disgusting. We were in Greenwich Village, by the way. Anyway, if I was going for a short time, I wouldn't worry about the language barrier. Because that's just what you do. If I was going all winter or all season, I should say, I'd rather make it easier on myself. Again, you can get friggin' English anywhere anyway. Like, and we're in the Star Trek times for technology, man. Like, it's not even a worry anymore. But in the late 90s, early 2000s, it might have been a little bit more of a problem. I was just making it. It's just me being lazy. Is really what it is. Going to like Australia, New Zealand, English speaking countries, just being lazy, or like South Africa, a lot of English there too. So just being lazy. That's all it is. But if you're lazy about one thing, you can really put a lot of work in on another. You know what I mean? Tactical laziness. Another lesson that can be applied to other things. Tactical laziness. Being lazy on one thing and putting real work in onto something else, you could probably get more of something else. Does that make sense? Is that a stupid concept? That might be a stupid concept. Maybe don't take that one into your maybe don't take it into your daily life. Tactical laziness. Then again, maybe I'm onto something. I don't know. What do we got here? Skiing is the international language unless you're Mount Brody. That's true. In that movie, it was love the international language. That was the bit. She spoke French and English, and she was actually one of the princesses from the first Bill and Ted too. And let's not even get into movies because I can't remember anything else she's been in offhand. But skiing is an international language. It's it's not the same everywhere you go. But the vibe is the same. Obviously, people like any cultural or difference in nationality or whatever it may be, everybody's a little different, which is part of the awesomeness of traveling. But it's the same vibe. We get out there. We love it. They love it. We like the snow. There's people in here who don't even do it, who love it. I don't know if that's true. But there's people in our chat here tonight who are watching who, worked in the industry. Same idea, man, So it's I mean, let's take it back to holidays. Let's take it back to skiing and riding for the holidays. They're skiing, at least again in North America. I mean, not North America, the Northern Hemisphere. That deserves a lollipop lick. Holy shit. That was a bad stutter. What do we got here? One speaks no English. The other learned to speak English listening to Howard Cosell. That's right. Rest in peace, Howard Cosell. I love Better Off Dead. It's a great film. I might have to watch that tonight before bed. I don't know. I kind of want to get up early in the morning, so I kind of want to go to bed before 1 o'clock in the morning. But we'll see. So, to bring it back around to the holidays, and skiing being an international language, such as it is, skiing, snowboarding, winter sports, snow sports, more accurately. Snow sports, definitely more accurate. That goes to the first point that G-Move made about, changing the idea of winter sport. Call it snow sports. Excuse me. That we can share holidays. Like in the Northern Hemisphere, we all ski on White Christmas, Not even the entire Northern Hemisphere has a White Christmas. We know that, but a lot of places do. New Jersey was the first place I lived in that never had a white Christmas, like once or twice in all the years I lived there. And but they have Christmas, on other parts of the Northern Hemisphere, Europe, Asia. And it's like, man, we could all share that one, but then they might have something else. They might have another holiday. We have Thanksgiving, skiing on Thanksgiving. European folks get here. They know about it, but they're not there to celebrate it. They're just off that weekend. That's just a day off for them. For us, it's a holiday. But then what do they have dependent upon the European nation or region or Asian nation or region? What do they got down over there? What holiday are they skiing on? Man, we need more non-Americans here tonight. This would be probably a little bit more interesting. Or I should have had the forethought to do a little bit more research for this. But then again, I've only been planning this for less than about 24 hours. So there you go. When a lack of creativity hits you right in the face. It's awesome. Anyway. What holidays do they have? And we could share that. Peace through snow sports, my friends. That's something we can all agree on. Peace through snow sports. And that is a possibility. And again, Christmas is obviously, peace on earth, goodwill to men. Sorry, I'm taking my notes. It's terrible, I know. Taking notes on camera. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. And by men, we mean humankind. And peace through snow sports, man, because, and again, this is another lesson. You can take to other things, believe me, because I've had this same theory about peace through pizza, Peace through heavy metal. Believe me. Peace through things we all get into. Well, it was peace through rock and roll, not peace through heavy metal. Peace through rock and roll. And it's what is this? G-Move. Dude, I was the only American in the... Jesus Christ. I was the only American in the Valderan all season. I was the anomaly. Good to be a stranger in a strange land. Totally survivable. On the mountain, respect is understood. Just tough. Oh, yeah. Believe me, I understand. I've worked with and skied with many people from other countries where they've been the only one or two. And totally get it from there, from obviously from a reversed... reversing that, not being obviously you were the only American. Here they were the only, whatever nationality it may be, but or one or two of them. I get it, and I respect them, and they respected us. I'm just being lazy. Just being lazy. They speak English, I speak English. It's easy. Being lazy. But peace through snow sports, man. We can all just, because we all get along, and this actually speaks to that. We all get along. We all have to share the same vibe, and it really doesn't matter, what holiday you're celebrating, because your holiday might be based on your nationality, where country you live in, or your holiday might be based on one's, your religion. One's holiday might be based on their religion, or again, nationality, or whatever culture they follow. All these things, and it doesn't matter. We can ask questions about it, kind of make it matter a little. But in the end, we're all there to do the same thing, and it really doesn't matter what color you are, what country you're from, what gender you are, who you're going home with, what religion you follow. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. And they all have their holidays, and the other groups have their own holidays, and we can ski on all of them. We can snowboard on all of them, or we can do whatever it is that you do. On all of them, because it doesn't matter. And it's peace through this stuff. Peace because we can all just get along and do the same thing and understand that, yeah, we're all different, but there's still this same vibe, this same idea of just having a good time, get it out of there, and just go. Just do it. And yes, the different use of the word holiday. You are right, sir. That is true. People go on holiday. People take holiday. We don't. We take vacations. We have the weekend off. Same language, same idea, though. Same ideas, no worries, and peace through that, We'll go out with you. We don't care. We don't care. I don't care. None of that stuff matters to me. That's why I'm always a peaceful person, man. I don't have a problem with you until you give me a reason to you have a problem with you. And it has nothing to do with any of that other stuff. Race, religion, creed, sexuality, any of that. I don't give a shit about any of that. If you're a dick, you're a dick. But none of that. And I'll ride with you. I don't care. Again, I don't care what religion, what God you pray to, who you take home, what color your skin is, what your ideals on anything are. I'm just out there doing it. Ryan. The Europeans at work seem to have a ton more company holiday days than we have in the U.S. Plus, they kick everyone out of the office at 4 p.m. every day and lock the doors. I've heard about this. I don't know much about it, but I've heard about this. Their work day, month, and year is 100% different than what we do here. 100% different. Not 100%. That's stupid to say. I shouldn't have said that. But it is very different. And they have this whole other thing, man. They have the work. I don't know if they have it figured out, but they like it. They like their system. The Europeans, and, they have, again, their work days and weeks and months and vacation time and all this other stuff is very different from us. I've heard about it. Again, I can't speak to it exactly. It's only what I've heard. But it's like, man, maybe you got the work-life balance figured out, and we as Americans don't. But then we get by. I've never had a problem with work-life balance. Some people would argue that's not true. But, then sometimes I like, an extra day or two of overtime. Greed. What can I tell you? Greedy American. That's just me. I don't know. But in fact, one of my old coworkers and I, man, during the holidays, we would compete for overtime, from Black Friday to New Year's Day, man. At New Year's Day, we counted up, and whoever worked a whole extra week in there somehow was the winner. And I won a couple times. He won a couple times. Actually, we actually had someone who beat us both one time. That was pretty funny. But anyway, back to the holidays as we keep getting off topic, as I typically do anyway. We can ski and we can snowboard on any and all holidays. We know that. And I'm never going to say, should we or should we not? I'm not going to ask that question. Because like I said, I'm easy to get along with. B, I don't see, if you're doing it the way you want to do it, the way you like to do it, and you're not hurting anybody and not breaking any laws, then you're not doing it wrong. You know what I mean? You do you, and you celebrate the holiday the way you want. I spent one Christmas morning down on the Las Vegas Strip. I didn't see that as wrong. It was fun. I've spent New Year's, at a party. I've spent New Year's out geocaching in the middle of the night. I've spent Thanksgiving doing the same. I've spent Thanksgiving with one person. I've spent Thanksgiving with 20 people. I've gone trick-or-treating on Halloween. I've had Halloween party. I've watched horror movies on Halloween by myself. Not always a good time, but, when you're a chicken, you're a chicken. When you're superstitious and stuff, you get a little whacked out, how you want to spend your holiday is how you want to spend your holiday. But some people will question it. Like, should you really be out skiing? Shouldn't you be at home with your family and opening presents and having the breakfast? And some people do that and then they head out to the mountain. But then they say, but there's people who have to work, and is that fair to them? And I say kind of, because they knew what they were signing it up for. That kind of sounds like a dicked off thing. And back in retail, people used to say that to me all the time. People used to say, don't do, it sucks that we have to work on Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, I mean, we work in retail, and the next day is the biggest shopping day of the year. Like, we know that going into it, and it is explained, like, early on in someone's career. Like, it is explained. Once Thanksgiving hits, you're working a lot in retail and logistics and hospitality and food service. It's explained. But there are those people who say, should those companies be open? And obviously, as I said, they have to say, right. Target and Walmart, they have agreed with this now, obviously, because they're not opening up on Thursday. There'll still be people working on Thursday. Like, don't think that they're going to shut down completely. There's always someone working, and they're just getting paid overtime, that handful of people that they need to set up for the next morning. But some people would say, close it all down on these holidays. Don't open anything. Close the ski hills. I've heard that. Why are ski hills open on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? Because that's what people want to do. And, my friends and I, we worked in, we'd be off from high school and we'd go and we'd be spending a good chunk of our holiday at the mountain, not necessarily skiing or riding. It'd be working while other people, while we were serving people that were skiing and riding. Should we ski on holidays? Again, I don't see a problem with it. Especially if you do, as I said, be nice to the people working there, man. Don't worry, don't give them shit. They might make mistakes. They're frustrated too. They have 1 billion people they have to deal with. More people during the holiday than any other time of year. Cut them some slack. Because you'd want some slack cut for you if you were on the other side. And you could say, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. I was like, it's going to fucking happen to you. The one who says it's not going to happen to them, that's the one it's going to happen to. That's just Murphy's Law, man. What can happen does, man. I don't know, kids. What else we got for this holidays thing? What else we got for the holidays? Is there anyone would want to ski on? In particular, ski or snowboard on, or other snow sports? Especially here in the United States. Again, typically it's New Year's, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's the, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day and week. The Leprechaun, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, the snow, where there's more snow. Anyone you want to do. Like, does anybody want to go out on Arbor Day? Does anybody really want to get out on Arbor Day dressed as a leaf? or dressed as a tree. I'll do it for the bit. When is Arbor Day? Who knows? Anybody want to go out on Earth Day? Would people slap you in the face for going out on Earth Day? Saying, why would you ski on Earth Day when you have, fiberglass and plastic sticks strapped to your feet, and you have the wax on that stuff is environmentally unfriendly, as we're starting to find out, and there are environmentally friendly waxes now. And some skiing components are going to be, obviously, and materials are going to be, more environmentally friendly. Again, as we start to take care of the environment and technology, continues to grow, skiing will not be an environmentally unfriendly sport. But, it kind of could be argued. So should we be out on Arbor Day? Would you go out just to do it in spite of Arbor Day? I don't know. No, riding on holidays is crazy. So many people, wicked long lift lines and packed trails. And there's the answer. There is the answer. If one wants to go out skiing on holidays, you can do it. Never say you're wrong. But I'm with Trav. And, I feel kind of stupid for not being the one who brought that up first. I would probably not, especially now, unless I had good reason, not be going up to that hill on December 24th, 25th, on December 31st, January 1st, the blackout days for some seasons passes. I would I would go on Black Friday, but not on Thanksgiving. Definitely go on Black Friday. Nobody's going to be up there. Everybody's going to be at Target and Walmart. And that one last Kmart that might be out there somewhere. Who knows? He's right, because everybody else is doing it. And it just gets jammed. Jammed and packed. Had a short-lived family tradition. Took my daughter skiing on Christmas Eve day to tire her out and slow Mrs. Claus work and tire her out and slow so Mrs. Claus could work her magic. Brilliant. And that's great. But we're spoiled. We are spoiled. We could go any other day we wanted to. But, G-Move has a point, man. He used it to his advantage, skiing on a holiday. So there you go. If you can work anything to your advantage, do it. I'm not saying being a manipulative asshole at all. But look for those advantages any way you can use them. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this, though. It's like New Jersey. I saw fireworks at the beach once, and I had to walk 2 miles in. Not that I had a problem walking 2 miles at that point. I didn't really care about the energy expended, but it kind of sucks when you're going to the beach and you can't find a parking spot 2 miles unless it's 2 miles out. There was one year I got really lucky and found one, less than a half mile. Very easy. So did we go? Yeah, it was twice I saw. So I was wrong about what I meant is that I did see it twice, but only once did I get to park close. Then there was the other time that I had to park 2 miles away, and the beach is fucking packed. And that was really my point. Just like that, 4th of July being a mess on the beach, Christmas as friggin' and New Year's. Actually, New Year's isn't bad. New Year's Day isn't bad, because if you get up early and you go out in the morning, there's still people sleeping in. There's still people coming to at fucking 9, 10, and 11, and they start showing up at like lunchtime. So, unless you like getting sloppy yourself on New Year's, then, why even bother going out New Year's Day? What? But I agree with Trav, though, man. Going out on those holiday days, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, it's just packed. It's shoulder to shoulder people. But then that also comes back to the idea of weekend skier versus weekday skier. Something we will talk about again. Something I've talked about before. Something we will talk about again. Because there's times where, I worked for the mountain. I obviously worked the weekends because that's what you do. It's the busiest time of week. Everybody works on the weekends, and especially when we were in high school working there. That was our work days, But man, as I got out of the industry and was just coming back to ski or going other places, in retail, just like in just like in the ski industry, everybody works the weekends. I worked the weekends. I was off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I only had a 4-day work week, 10-hour days. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I could bop on off to the Catskills or bop on off to the Poconos, and there's not going to be any traffic or any people because everybody else is working. Happy to be a midweeker. Hello, Sherry. Welcome to the program. If you've been here the whole time, welcome anyway to the chat. Did not know you were here. I'll bet you almost all of us who do it love to be midweekers because midweek is the bomb. Travis can attest to this, man. There's a few times midweek we ran over when Haystack was still open midweek, which wasn't often in our careers. We would go over there and it'd be empty, which is why they made it only a weekend runoff mountain for Mount Snow. Well behaved. We don't have to be well behaved, but a little behaved makes it easier. No drama. That's what I always say. We've had a couple close shaves. We had a couple close shaves with drama here in the chat, and kind of glad it doesn't happen often. What a mess that would be. So, midweek skiing, same as holidays, man. Except here's the thing that's a bitch. And, we know them. The season's past blackout days. Those are the holiday weeks that midweek skiing doesn't count anymore because everybody's off. All the kids are off from school. So the parents take off from work and they all come to the mountain towns. And, for a week, it's shoulder to shoulder people. And you're throwing bows trying to get through lift lines. And the trails are packed. And there is no such thing as fast skiing, which I don't need to be fast all the time anyway. That's just, I'm not fast all the time. No, nobody really is. And, but, it's now just everybody and you're tripping over kids and people are swinging down on each other. It's just a mess. Park riders know that they're, you're sitting there just waiting your turn, waiting, behind a line of like 20 people who are all waiting for the same rail or the same feature or the half pipe's line is backed up along the half pipe, we all know. Holiday skiing, it's a great way to spend a holiday if you're gonna spend your holiday doing something. At the same time, it's like going on a Saturday. Fucking can blow, dude. It's just not. It's still fun, but it can be frustrating. Rob, that's when you head to Jack Frost and stay on East Mountain. Nobody goes over there. See? We all know how to get around it, too, the best you can. I've actually never been to Jack Frost, believe it or not. It's one of the ones I didn't get to hit while I was down, cruising Pennsylvania. But if you know where to go, if you have a spot that you can hit, holidays, weekends, it's all fine. But, if you don't, then holidays and weekends can stink. Not the holiday itself. I'm not a big holiday guy. Christmas, I'll visit friends, be with my family, and that's it. Beyond that, I'm just watching Christmas movies. I'm watching, like, Christmas Day for me is Garfield and Charlie Brown, and then that's pretty much the highlight of my Christmas Day, And this past Christmas, I tried to watch from December 1st to December 25th a different Christmas movie every day. I ended up missing some because we did have a Christmas party at some point and a couple other things, and it was hard to find them, man. Some that were even decent, but I found some really dark ones too. Holy smokes, did I find some dark ones! But anyway, it is almost 9:30. I'm running out of steam, and my eyes are starting to burn. What else we got on this holiday thing? Are we going to cut it an hour and a half again today? Hour and a half is about our average. Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation. See, people have their classics. I found a dark one out of Finland, I want to say it was. And, like, Santa Claus was a demon, and the elves were, like, these weird demon people. And the end just spun that around to something kind of weird, and it was really dark, and I really enjoyed it. I showed it to a friend. He said he didn't really enjoy it. I was like, dude, it was so dark, I could not like it. It wasn't like a great movie, but I enjoyed it. So anyway, since we're at an hour and a half, what do you say we close this up for the night? We good with that? Chime in at the end here if you're not good with that. Tell me. Maybe we can go even longer. I don't know. I'm trying. People are starting to jump out anyway. But thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for allowing me lollipop time, my piñata pop. Thank you all for talking about the holidays as best as we could. Again, summing up, every holiday is available for skiing in the 21st century. The season that doesn't end unless a disease or virus makes it end. Because of technology, because of the ease of travel. Although travel is expensive, it is easy. We can, again, plastic hills, indoor facilities, traveling to the Southern Hemisphere. We need you to finish your pop. Was that rude using a lollipop throughout the night? I thought it would just be stupid. Who knew? Anyway, Bam's movie. Is what Bam's movie? Which movie is Bam's movie? I don't know, dude. I don't know. If you're talking about Bam Margera, I'm not a big fan of his anyway, so I don't know. Those guys, I'm not a big fan of those guys. Well, Knoxville's all right, but the rest of them kind of suck, in my opinion. They don't suck, I just don't like them. But thank you for joining me, guys. This one turned out better than I actually thought it was. Not that I'm trashing Travis's topic. I just didn't think I'd get through it. But thank you all. If you did enjoy it before you leave, please hit the like button so people who watch the replay will say, all right, people liked it. Maybe I'll like it too. Again, it's right below the screen if you're on a device, and if you're on a television, just hit that down arrow on your controller, on your TV remote, and you should see it there. Again, the bar, the shameless plug bar is not on the screen because that got lost. But have we flipped to Mr. Margera's lame ski movies? See, I didn't even know Bam had a ski movie. I had no idea. No clue whatsoever. Someone shout out. I'll go look it up, and then I'll check it out, and we'll talk about that on Ski Rex Media during the week maybe. But again, thank you for joining. If you are new here, which I don't think anybody is, but if you are, please go to Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, Ski Rex Media. Ski Rex Media on all three. The Discord server, if we want to talk about skiing in another place, that's out there, Ski Rex Media. If you put in Ski Rex Media, you'll find me. To find all of this stuff even easier, just go to skirexmedia.com. None of these links have to be memorized because they are all in the description along with the merch shop link and the Patreon link. So if you do want to support the program, if you think I'm doing a good job, if you think Ski Rex Media is doing a good job, go in there, kick in some stuff. There are a few little things coming up, some behind-the-scenes stuff coming out behind the Patreon paywall. It starts at $1, but you can add whatever you want, as much as you want. Whatever you think I'm worth, you can put it in there, all right? So thank you again for playing, everybody. This is not, however, also because of the biff on the streaming software, is not going to have the end screen or the closing music. It's just going to go to black because it's just not there, and it stinks, and I didn't realize it until it was too late. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Podcast may or may not be this Wednesday. It depends on. We might still be on the season break this week and come back next week as strong as I can. All right. Thank you all again, guys. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate the feedback. I've been getting feedback in other places as well and have really enjoyed that too. Let's be honest, one of the feedbacks came from a girl, so I kind of got, weird. But anyway, thank you guys, and I will check you later. Thank you, Trav. Good show. Good night, Rob. You're welcome, G. So long, Sherry. Thank you for playing. She might already have bounced. I hope not, but I didn't get to her comments there. So we'll see you all in the next one, guys. Later.